Hello, welcome to Casa knitting. Today in this video I'm going to show you how to split the one skein or one ball of yarn into two separate balls of yarn for your sock knitting two at a time. If you were knitting just one sock at a time, then you wouldn't need to do this. But what you normally get is a ball of yarn like this, and usually a ball of yarn that it's 100 grams, or depending on the yardage, you can actually get this ball of yarn in particular has 420 meters, so you can actually split this ball of yarn into two so that you can knit your two socks at the same time. So what I would do is, first of all, I'll find the middle of the yarn. I like pulling it out from the center. So you pull out the center of the yarn, and you can get this food scale. This is a really inexpensive food scale that I got at Walmart, so anywhere that has a light food scale that you can purchase, you don't have to invest a lot into it, so anything that's inexpensive would work. Set it to 0 on the scale, and what I would do is pull out the label, and even though on the label it often says 100 grams, I don't really go by that, because it's not necessarily on my scale, it's not necessarily 100 grams. So I would weigh it on my scale, and then I will use that number to go from there. So it says 0 right now. You place the whole ball of yarn on there, and this is actually 97 grams instead of 100 grams. So you just divide that into two, basically, so that you have your ball of yarn split into two. And then I would just then take that and hook it onto this little hook here and wind it up. And I would slide this into the groove, because I like to pull my yarn out from the center, and that way the ball of yarn doesn't spin around, it doesn't get dirty, and it doesn't catch things as you're knitting. Sometimes it goes under the chair and whatnot, which can be annoying. So basically I'm just going to keep winding up the yarn until it's about 95, 96 right now. So I'll go to approximately 48 grams, which is probably about half a ball of yarn. So I'm just gonna wind it up. And be patient as you pull out the yarn from the center. It's not always going to be straight and untangled. Sometimes it does get tangled up a little bit. And you just have to be patient and just straighten it out, and off you go. Now, as you see too, if you were winding this up from the front strand, the ball of yarn is probably going to spin itself round and round, and it doesn't have to sit on the scale the whole time. If it does fall off a little bit, don't worry, but every now and then put it back on the scale so that you can see the grams changing. So I'm just going to keep... So I'm at about 50 grams right now, and I'm trying to get to 48, so I'm going to go a little further. So I'm at about 48 right now. And what I'm going to do is just cut that off. And there's your one ball of yarn. And don't forget to pull out the center piece in case you do want to pull your yarn out from the center. Just hold on to that and pull that out. So if you want to pull your yarn out from the center, you could. And then we proceed on to the second ball of yarn. You do the same thing. Something's catching there. Wedge that into the groove, and away we go. And basically now you're going to wind this down to another ball of yarn. So you're going to just finish winding this up, and you will have two separate balls of yarn for your sock knitting. So we're at the end. You're just going to wind it up, and again, don't forget to pull out from the center, just in case you want to pull the yarn out from the center, and there you have two balls of yarn for your sock knitting.